Hey y'all, welcome back to Spilling the Reality on the Hantz Show. I am Kiley and I am here to bring you everything you need to know that is happening in the Big Brother house. We will be talking about last night's episode, round one of the HOH, and just breaking down everything that we saw happen last night. We did get to see the remaining three get a loved one's message, and so we will talk about their reactions from that and just kind of recap the few things that are happening. We're very close to the end, guys, so let's get into it. Let me see. Obviously, Trisha's not here today, so it's just me. Drop me some comments so that we've got some stuff to talk about at the end because there's not a lot to talk about in terms of the feed, y'all. Let's get into the episode last night. So at the beginning of the episode, we did get to see Christmas campaign to Cody, and her big point that she tried to sell Cody on is, Nicole being a winner. And whenever they're sitting there in those final two chairs together, how that looks to the jury. And Christmas is like, I promise, Cody, if you keep me, I am going to take you to the final two. And, we get the obligatory DR of Cody being like, oh, Christmas is really bringing up some good points here, but we know the outcome and this isn't going to go well for Christmas. Before the eviction, we did get to see this scene in the kitchen with Cody, Nicole, and Enzo. And Enzo says to the other two, hey, what was y'all's other final three like? And Christmas is in the bathroom doing her hair, and she hears Enzo. And Enzo is like, oh shit, I slipped up. And Christmas comes out mad as hell, y'all. And I can't exactly blame her because Enzo is supposed to be her closest ally. And this is like, stick a fork in her. Christmas is done. And she realizes, okay, he's not really saying what he is. He's not going to keep me. He's not campaigning for me. And so Christmas is pretty upset. I imagine that this was probably the look on her face when she was ramming into her baby daddy's side piece's car because she was mad as hell. So I thought that was very interesting to see from Christmas last night on the episode. We also got a jury segment, and we do get to see a little bit of their insight. I liked seeing them all guessing on who would be coming through the door and who they wanted to see come through the door. And I thought it was really interesting when Memphis came in, Davon's reaction to Memphis, because everybody else was like, oh, Memphis, even David, who doesn't really like Memphis and said that he was glad that Memphis was there because he can't win the game. But Davon showed no emotion. Her face was blank. She didn't get up. She didn't react to him. He did, come up and give her a hug, but I thought that was kind of interesting because we haven't really heard a lot about Davon's opinions on Memphis. So I thought that was a really interesting reaction. Lots of people in the jury definitely seem to be in the mindset that we all are too, that, hey, if anyone besides Cody is going to win this game, they've got to do something. And especially Enzo. Enzo, you have got to make a move. And Davon says, I'm rooting for Enzo. Like, come on, Enzo, make the move. Let us give you this win. But almost a thing of, without this move, you're not going to win. So, um, yeah, Don says Day did make a face when Memphis hugged her and gave her a little extra squeeze and let it go. Yeah, when he walked in, because I had to rewind it, I was like, oh, that is kind of surprising to me. So, yeah. Then we also get the discussion of, hey, what has Nicole done? And David makes the comment of, well, Nicole's been throwing competitions. And Danny is like, has she though? And we can see Danny, she made the comments that she wanted to be the queen of Big Brother. She was coming for Janelle's crown. And now I think she's seeing, oh crap, if Nicole wins, is she the queen of Big Brother? And Danny is not here for it. So she plans on not letting that happen, and she is throwing shade on Nicole from the jury house. And Kevin pops in and is like, well, we don't know. I mean, nobody knows for sure exactly what's happening because we're not in the house. Let David finish his point. And Danny pops off back at him like the second most entertaining thing we've gotten this whole entire season. Of course, it comes from the jury house, and Danny isn't having it, y'all. So that's a little bit we got from the jury house. We do go back to the Big Brother house. We get their final speeches, and y'all, Christmas brought a little bit of heat in her speech, and mostly directed at Enzo. And she says, Enzo, congratulations on third place. And like, this was great because it's what we've all been thinking. You're destined for that brigading that is going to happen to you, where you went with two people that are more loyal to each other than to you. And it's probably going to happen that you're going to get sent out in third. So Christmas is speaking the truth. I feel like she probably should have brought some heat onto Cody or Nicole, because Enzo obviously is out of the equation. He's not on the block. He's not casting the vote. So a little bit interesting for her to come for Enzo. I'm glad that she did because it was funny. But yeah, she should have said something like, hey, Cody, you're going to lose if you're sitting next to Nicole because she's a former winner and you're not going to have the votes. You think you've played this dominant game, but you're still going to lose. She should have said something like that because, she had to do something to try to influence Cody's vote. But she didn't, and she gets evicted 1-0, goes out and sees Julie. Christmas says that she's very proud of herself and she played a great game. She proved the haters wrong. She won some competitions, and yeah, y'all, she's a great Big Brother player. So it is what it is. At least she's happy with the game she played. She didn't play a terrible game. I mean, she did make it to the end. She put herself in the numbers. Didn't have to worry about a whole lot the whole season. So there it is. This is All Stars, y'all. Then let me see. At the very end, we did get a loved ones video. And can we talk about how sweet Enzo's children are? First of all of this time, I have thought that Enzo had one child and that his child's name was Giannico. I thought that was one name. But as it turns out, Enzo has two children, an adorable little boy, a beautiful little girl, Gia, and Nico. And Nico tells his dad that he is going to be a banana for Halloween, which I absolutely love. This is definitely one of Enzo's most memorable moments from the season. So I think it is great that his child is going to be a banana to idolize his father, and encourages Enzo to bring home the cheese. We get to see Cody's beautiful girlfriend, like y'all. These two belong together. They are so gorgeous. Cody's gorgeous. Christy's gorgeous. I want them to get married and have beautiful babies. And I like getting to see Cody be emotional and reacting to her video. And so that was super sweet. And then we got to see Victor's video for Nicole. And one of the things that Nicole had stressed about with her HOH letter was Victor did not say, I'm proud of you. So he made sure to get that phrase in there in the video, and that made Nicole happy. We got to visibly see her be like, Oh, yes. He said that he's proud of me. So he is proud of me. This is what I've been worrying about. But y'all don't worry. She, of course, read into the video and has a freak out later in the night that we will talk about. Nicole can't just take it at face value. So that kind of wraps up the episode. We do know that there will be a special memory lane episode on tonight. They'll have their big meal. They'll talk about mostly things that we did see, maybe a few things that we didn't, and we'll get to see the beginning of the HOH competition on the episode tonight. So that kind of wraps up the episode. Let's get in. Actually, before we get into the live feeds, let me go ahead and do the tweet of the day because it is regarding the episode. So I think it's more fitting to show it now. It is popping up, so give it just a second. It is going to come from Brendan Villegas, Rachel Riley's better half, in the words of Julie Chen Moonves. And yeah, let's see. So, Christmas. This is a goodbye message from Nicole. Christmas. Enzo, Cody, and I have been working together since day -100. So Brendan throwing the shade out there for the pregame alliance. And, they all made sure to say, hey, we've been working together since day 2. In reality, it was probably longer than that. So thanks for this great tweet, Brendan. All right. Now let's move into the feeds. So after the West Coast airing, the feeds come back up. And what do y'all think? If you do not know, who do you think won round 1? We know that round 1 is typically a endurance competition, and it was. So, who won? Cody? No, he didn't, y'all. Wow. Cody did not win. Nicole won. I'm shocked. Like, really. Everybody thought Cody was going to win round 1. We even got to see Nicole talking about how she would throw it to Cody. Enzo has been counting himself out for days. And yeah, she did, y'all. She pulled it out. Cody did not win. It was the competition where they're hanging on the ropes and they're spinning around and they hit into the thing and reflect off and spin and they shoot gunk at them and all that good stuff. So when the feeds come back up, they're covered in paint and everything. And Enzo says that it was a super hard competition and that altogether it lasted like 35 minutes. Enzo says that he dropped out after about 20 and that then maybe 10 minutes later Cody fell off. And so everyone is shocked. Nicole's shocked that she won. She's talking to the cameras like, hey, feedsters, I won. I won round 1. I'm just as shocked as y'all are. So, okay. I don't know if Nicole and Cody had ever. Okay, y'all, is it back on? It wouldn't be an episode by myself if I didn't have any technical difficulties. Uh, so y'all let me know. Make sure that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, it's back. So yes, Nicole talks. We know that Nicole had talked about throwing the competition to Cody. We don't know for sure if once Enzo fell, if they had any conversations, but it didn't happen either way. So here we are, guys. Nicole wins round one. And Cody's pretty pissed about it. He's talking to everybody, he's talking to the cameras, and he's saying that Nicole was like barely. They say that it was like a moon, I guess, that they were hitting. That Nicole would barely graze the moon and like do a real easy little turn around the thing, but Cody was slamming into it again and again and again. So he said he was spinning out of control. Enzo was sick. So Nicole thinks that she, had just as hard of a time, but Cody is not here for that. He thinks that, it was easier for Nicole. And Nicole points out, hey, Cody, you picked your rope first. So it's your fault. So yeah, guys, like, wow, this is a shocker. I personally think for Cody's end game that he definitely has a better chance of beating Enzo in round two than if Enzo had won the endurance comp and he was facing off against Nicole. So if Cody couldn't win it, it was definitely better for him for Nicole to win round one. Enzo is not as athletic as Cody. I don't feel like he knows the days and everything as well as Cody. So I think this is the best worst case scenario for Cody. Let's see. Round two speculation. Cody and Enzo are both talking about when they think that round two will happen. There's a possibility that it will be on the feeds today, not on the feeds, but that it will happen today. But I think most likely it will be on Sunday. Yep, Sunday in the Big Brother house. I think that is when we will see round two's winner come out. So that is that. Um, Aaron says Enzo is like 40, Cody is probably like 20. Pretty obvious who would win. Yeah, so throwing that shade on Enzo's age, but yeah, guys, it's super shocking. Let's see. We do have one more thing that we'll talk about. Emo Enzo. The house guests are all in their fields last night after getting to see their videos. And Enzo makes a comment that, hey, I'm not even that upset that I didn't win the competition. I'm more upset that I showed so much emotion, like crying about my kid's video. He also had a moment where he was upset about his dad's passing away. And so I think Enzo is showing some fatigue. I mean, I can't imagine being in the house. This was day 79 in the Big Brother house and just being on constant alert for 79 days. I'm sure it has to be draining, physically, mentally, emotionally draining. And I think we're really seeing that from Enzo. I teased a little bit that Nicole read into Victor's message. And we did see in Victor's message, he said that this was the hardest thing that he's ever had to do. And Nicole is like, what is the hardest thing you've ever had to do? And she's freaking out about this, guys. And she thinks something has happened. And that, why would Victor say that? I'm like, girl, chill. I mean, we are in a worldwide pandemic. That is probably the best part about being locked away in the Big Brother house for 90 days is you've gotten to step outside of the COVID world. You don't have to have that stress every day. So, yeah, Victor is by himself. You're his girl and you're not there. And he is in the COVID world. 2020 sucks, y'all. So, yeah, Nicole's reading into it. She's worried about what Victor meant by that. And I mean, he can't lose. He can't win. You know, like no matter what he would have sent her, she would have read into something. So, um, yeah, that's your live feed update, guys. There's not a lot there because there's not a lot happening. Um, what do y'all think? Do you think Nicole is going to win this final HOH and go on to win the season? Is there any chance that she takes out Cody? I don't know, guys. Kathy does say Mulan for AFP. That is one thing I forgot to hit on. The voting for AFP is open, so you can vote for whoever you personally like. We have been for weeks advocating for Davon to get AFP. That is who I casted my 10 votes for yesterday. But, you know, you can vote for whoever you like. Let me scroll through these comments. Oh my gosh, y'all. Before I look at the comments, I'll give y'all some time to drop some more. If you did not see, Russell tweeted out a video, and I'm going to attempt to show it to y'all. I don't know if I can. Let me try. But this is so awful, y'all. So let me try and show this to y'all because this is wow. I would evict him just for this. So there's not any sound with this because it, hopefully y'all all can see it. It is just a video of Enzo walking around in the kitchen, scratching himself. Oh, you know, hey, these cookies look delicious. Mmm, cookies. Everyone come get you some ball cookies. What? What is wrong with him? No. Why did he do that, y'all? Oh. So I wanted to be sure to share that. Why? Why would he do that? Y'all, no words for that. Okay, I'm going to scroll through the comments real quick. Y'all let me know any thoughts you have. If there's mainly, do y'all think there's any chance that Nicole or Enzo is going to pull this out and Cody's going to get evicted and finish in third? Let's see. I'm scrolling and looking. Dawn says from earlier that she personally thinks the only move that makes them a winner is to get rid of Cody. I think that's absolutely correct. Brett does say, I'm rooting for Cody to win final HOH and crush Enzo in a unanimous vote. Second choice is Enzo to win final HOH, cut Cody, and beat Nicole. I think I agree with that 1,000%. The order I would like to see them win at this point is Cody, Enzo, Nicole. Cody's played just a really great game, even if it's not been the most entertaining, and even if some of it was arranged pregame. But anyways, let me see what other comments there are. I don't have time to read all of them, but let's see. Sarah says, if Cody gets evicted, it would be the crappy result that this crappy season deserves. Yeah, I just feel like that's kind of fitting for this season would be for Cody to get clipped right here at the end. But I don't know if they will actually do that. So I don't know, y'all. Oh my gosh. Be wise, open eyes. If Enzo does that off camera, IDK what he does when he's alone. Right. Like he knows that he is being filmed in all directions and he does that. Like can't even imagine. Kathy says, I would love for Enzo to win the second HOH just to make Cody stress for once this season. That would also be a really great thing. Nicole wins part one, Enzo wins part 2, and then Cody's fate is in someone else's hands. That would be ideal. So that way we at least have a little bit of drama going into finale night of, okay, is one of them going to cut Cody? And then if Cody wins, hey, at least we had an entertaining last episode. But we'll see. All right. That is probably going to do it for the comments. Just to remind y'all, tomorrow we will not have a live feed update. There's probably not going to be a lot to have updated y'all on anyways. Instead, this is tentative. We are waiting on Kelly and Levon from The Amazing Race to confirm a time with us, but we have reached out. They said that tomorrow is good for them, so we are planning, unless we tweet out otherwise, to have an exit interview with Kelly and Levon. We are so pumped to talk to these two women. If y'all are not watching The Amazing Race, first of all, it is not too late to get caught up. There are only 2 episodes so far. We are just really honored, though, to get to talk to Kelly and Levon. They are Olympians, and so that's pretty cool. Like, we're going to talk to some Olympians tomorrow, y'all. So make sure you tune in at 11 tomorrow for our chat with Kelly and Levon. They said that they have so much to tell us, so we're very excited about that. And then Sunday, we will not have a show at noon, but we will have a special Sunday evening episode with our girl Kat. We are so excited to get to talk to her, hear everything she's thinking about this season, and her thoughts on who's going to bring it home. So that will be Sunday night. Then also as a reminder, Monday, we will be back at noon, regular time, to break down the final 3, where we think jury votes can go, and what we expect to see happen on the finale. Tuesday will be up in the air, just depending on if there's anything to even update y'all on. If they've already cut the feeds, we will see. Then Wednesday night, finale night, Trisha and I will be live after the Big Brother finale with Russell. You'll want to make sure to tune into that, and that will wrap up the Big Brother season, guys. Like, we're right here in the home stretch. It's hard to believe. As much as we like to complain about it, it's still Big Brother, and bad Big Brother is better than no Big Brother. So I will be sad when it ends, and we won't get to spend every day with y'all. So anyways, guys, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at RealiTEA_TRHS. We tweet out everything that you need to know, post fun things on our Instagram. So make sure you check us out and like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the Russell Hantz Show so that you get updates every time we go live. And I will see you guys tomorrow for an exit interview for The Amazing Race. Cheers, y'all.